Hello everyone and thanks for joining us. This is AMECO English service and you're watching our daily updates. I'm Gaila Damu. Stay tuned. Ministry of Urban and Infrastructure disclosed that encouraging activities have been carried out to rebuild and restore infrastructures destroyed by the war in the northern part of the country. Fikradi Zaudu has the details.
It was indicated that the bridges that were destroyed due to the war in the north have now been repaired and become fully operational, recalling that a delegation led by Speaker of the House of People's Representatives Takese Jafo, comprising of ministers, heads of service providing institutions and national dialogue commissioners, visited Mekelle to discuss the issue of restoring basic services among other issues. Following this, electricity, telecom, banking and other services were able to resume services within a short period of time. Minister of Urban and Infrastructure Jaltu Sani told Ethiopian news agency the war erupted in the northern part of the country caused damages on various infrastructures. She stated that following the peace agreement, the government has been intensifying efforts to put infrastructures into operation, citing the restoration of all bridges.
የሰሜኑ የሀገራችን ክፍል በጦርነት የወደሙ የመሰረተ ልማት አውታሮች በጣም ከፍተኛ ናቸው።
In the northern part of our country, the infrastructure networks that were destroyed due to the war are huge, so the government has been taking different measures. Many works are being done by the ministry in collaboration with infrastructure provider institutions. For instance, all the bridges that were damaged due to the war have now become fully operational.
ሀገራችን አካባቢ ላይ ተቋርጦ የነበሩ ዛሬ ላይ ሙሉ በሙሉ ስራዎቻቸውን ጀምረዋል.
The minister further noted that encouraging results have been registered in rebuilding the infrastructure development institutions that were destroyed in the war.
አጠቃላይ የመሰረተ ልማት ዘርፉ የተመራበት ያለበት መንገድ እጅግ የሚያበረታታ
The way in which the entire infrastructure sector is being managed is very encouraging and gives hope to our people. The main reason we're doing this is by increasing the economy at a high level and thus making Ethiopia and our cities the center of prosperity. The minister pointed out the government of Ethiopia has also been carrying out the maintenance of other infrastructures as per its promises. According to the minister, encouraging achievements have been registered in the efforts being carried out to rehabilitate and restore infrastructures ravaged due to the conflict. She also mentioned that the ongoing rebuilding activities will further be intensified.
Northern California Ethiopian community and medical care professionals have donated 27 million birr worth of medical supplies to war-affected areas, Abebe Brahani reports.
Minister of Health Lia Tadesse received the donation from the representative of Northern California health professionals and members of the Ethiopian community, Dr. Qedist Kidani. Speaking at the handing over ceremony, Dr. Qedist said multiple health centers were destroyed due to conflicts.
የኖርዝ ካሊፎርኒያ የጤና ባለሙያዎች እና የኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲዎችን
Our team has worked very hard to raise the funds to accomplish this promised task. We collaborated with MedSure, a non-profit US-based organization that collects and donates medical equipment and supplies worldwide, to sponsor and donate medical supplies and equipments transported into 40-feet ocean containers worth to 27 million birr.
ስርጭት ይደረጋል.
Health Minister Lia Tadesse on her part commended the donation and called on all Ethiopians at home and abroad to support the efforts being carried out to restore the health centers in various ways. The minister noted that several health centers had been damaged due to the conflict in various regions of the country over the past few years. Therefore, Lia stated that various efforts have been made in collaboration with Regional Health Bureau and pertinent bodies to restore the health centers so as to resume services. The medical equipment donated by the Ethiopian healthcare professionals and members of the Ethiopian community in Northern California will mainly be provided to 4 health centers located in Amhara and North Wollo.
Adjunct Professor at Georgetown University School of Continuing Education, Dr. Daraje Bafakadu said that compiling important information about the Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam GERD is crucial for strengthening diplomacy. Modom Liye tells us more.
Dr. Dereje, who has recently published a book on the Nile geopolitics and the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, briefed about his work to Ethiopian diplomats attending training at the African Leadership Excellence Academy. In his presentation, Dr. Dereje said knowing the history about the Abai River and documenting it with written information is important for diplomatic endeavors, adding that all the written material currently available regarding the river are published by other parties. Hence, he advised to have properly compiled information about the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, as it is crucial to carry out effective diplomatic activities and help the next generation grasp a comprehensive knowledge about the river. He also discussed about his book that depicts a broad range of topics related to the Abai River and the Nile Basin, including the efforts made by Ethiopian leaders to utilize the river for development, the challenges they have faced, among other things. The scholar briefed the diplomats on the geopolitics of the Nile River from the past to the present, as well as on the GERD. According to him, GERD is an important phenomenon that Ethiopians have turned their regret on the Abai River into hopefulness. He stressed the need to inculcate a sentiment among all Ethiopians to be an ambassador of their country. Dr. Dereje called on the Ethiopian diaspora across the world to strengthen support to their country in their respective professional field. Foreign Affairs State Minister Ambassador Taye Yilma on his part said books like this one will be a great support for the nation's diplomatic activities. The book contains all the information about the Abai River, he said, adding that the next generation will have more comprehensive information regarding the issue. He noted this work is very promising in terms of providing resources in helping negotiations to defend the interests of Ethiopia.
Ethio-Djibouti Standard Gauge Railway disclosed that it has earned 2.5 billion birr over the past 5 months of Ethiopian fiscal year. Abebe Burhani tells us more.
Chief Executive Officer of Ethio-Djibouti Standard Gauge Railways share company, Abdi Zennebe, told Ethiopian news agency that the services being rendered by the company has been expanding. He stated that in the last 5 months alone, it has earned 2.5 billion birr by transporting more than 500,000 tons of cargo. He elaborated that compared to the same period last year, the stated revenue shows an increment of 600 million birr. He added that the company's contribution to the overall import and export trade of the country in terms of cargo transportation service has reached 15% over the past 5 months of the current Ethiopian fiscal year, which exceeded by 11.2% compared to the same period last year. Abdi said the expansion of services both in terms of volume and kind by the company has contributed a lot for the registered growth. According to the Chief Executive Officer, Ethio-Djibouti Railway has transported more than 500,000 tons of cargo in the last 5 months, including fertilizer, oil, wheat, vehicles and others. Noting that the free trade zone has a capacity to move 212 containers at a time to the dry port, thus helping to provide efficient service. He said the company is playing a major role in facilitating the free trade zone that was recently launched in Dreddawa. On the other hand, the Chief Executive Officer indicated that preparations have been completed to provide services to investors engaged in different sectors so that they can export products at a reasonable price and in a timely manner. He added that activities are also underway to commence services to bring the products produced by farmers to the market in the areas where the train passes. He stated that preparations have also been finalized to begin transporting of cement, sugar and gas on the large scale.
You're watching AMECO Haber English service, and now let's proceed to News Beyond Borders. Police and officials said gunmen have attacked a train station in southern Nigeria, kidnapping around 30 people and wounding others. It is nearly a year after a bomb assault on a train traveling from the capital. Police said in a statement to media on Monday that the gunmen opened fire before abducting passengers who were waiting for a train in Edo State on Saturday night. Edo State Information Commissioner Chris Nehikare told AFP news agency that 32 people had been abducted. Kidnapping for ransom is a major problem in Nigeria, where gunmen have repeatedly attacked the abducted people in large groups, but mostly in the northwestern and central state, as TRT World reported. 46 Ivorian soldiers held in Mali for 6 months and sentenced to 20 years in prison have arrived in Abidjan a day after a pardon by the neighboring country's junta. The AFP news agency reported that after their Ivorian Air Force plane landed on Saturday, the uniformed soldiers re-embarked one by one, each brandishing a small Ivorian flag to be greeted by President Alassane Ouattara. Their return signals the apparent resolution of a diplomatic standoff between the West African neighbors that also worsened Mali's already tense relations with regional powers, as TRT World reported. Rescue teams have recovered at least 3 survivors and 4 bodies from under the rubble of a 5-story building in the city of Aswid, south of the capital Cairo. Groundwork presents TRT World report.
Rescue teams have recovered at least 3 survivors and 4 bodies from under the rubble of a 5-story building in the city of Aswid, south of the capital Cairo. A senior official in Egypt said at least 4 people have been killed when an apartment building collapsed in southern Egypt. The Aswid province's governor Issam Saad said on Sunday rescue teams have recovered the 4 bodies from under the rubble of a 5-story building in the Kwalta neighborhood of the city of Aswid. Aswid lies some 400 kilometers south of the capital Cairo. Sadat said in a statement that rescuers also recovered 2 survivors who were taken to a local hospital. Last Sunday, workers retrieved the survivor, the province's media office said. The governor added that authorities had evacuated surrounding apartment buildings and dispatched bulldozers and other equipment to clear and secure the site. Footage shared by the governor's office appears to show rescuers attempting to remove repellent works through the building ruins. By Sunday afternoon, rescue teams were still searching for survivors using bulldozers and diggers to lift debris. Building collapses are common in Egypt, where shoddy construction and a lack of maintenance are widespread in shanty towns, poor city neighborhoods and rural areas. The collapse in Aswid came a day after the roof of a building in the Mediterranean city of Alexandria caved in, leaving 2 people dead and 1 injured. The government has tried to crack down on illegal building in recent years after decades of lax enforcement. Authorities are also building new cities and neighborhoods to rehouse those living in at-risk areas. But many Egyptian cities still have entire neighborhoods of unlicensed apartment blocks and shanty towns that do not follow building codes and regulations.
This is AMECO Haber English service, and now let's take a look at the foreign exchange rate. So the news we have for today. I'm Gaila Damu. Thanks for watching and stay tuned with the rest of our programs.